Hi, my name's Sue and this is Sue Maree P. Today I'm going to share an overnight sourdough spelt roll recipe and I'm going to bake it in the air fryer tomorrow. So in the large bowl I'm just going to make my dough. So I'm going to add in 250 grams of warm water. I've just used tap water that's warm. And then I have my starters here that I've fed and I'm going to use 100 grams of starter. So I fed this 6 hours ago, so it's nice and risen. It's going to zero my scales. So I'm going to use 100 grams of each starter, so it's actually 200 grams. I said the wrong thing. So that's 100, and what I do is I clean up this jar and I store this in the fridge for about a week, and then as soon as I need it, I get it out and feed it. This is a great way of not wasting your starter. So I'll clean that up later. And then I need to put the other 100 grams in. So we get to 200. Now, if you've got a little bit more starter, you can go up to 250 grams. It's nice and bubbly and activated. And then I've got two types of spelt flour. I've got 1 cup or 150 grams of whole grain. And I've got 250 grams of white spelt. That's 1 cup plus 3/4 of a cup. You can mix and match whatever combination you like. I'm going to start mixing that, and then I'm just going to add just 1 tablespoon of sweetener. That's optional, you don't have to do it. So I'm going to pop it on my stand mixer. Just need to swing the camera around. I've also got just a heaped teaspoon of salt, that's 8 grams. I'll start mixing that. And you can add in honey, maple syrup, regular sugar, or you can even leave it out. What I find, the sweetener actually helps make the rolls brown once they're cooked. But I'll just add 1 tablespoon today. I need this for about 5 minutes. That's lovely and mixed. So now I'm going to rest this on my bench for 1 to 2 hours. So I'm back with my dough, and look at that. It's risen so much. So now it's time to put it in the fridge, and I've got I call it my lasagna dish. It's my rectangle dish. I'm using this one because it fits in the fridge really nicely and it's got a lid. So I'm just going to scoop all this out. I think in the end I had it sitting there for 3 hours because we went out for dinner. So I didn't really use any flour or oil in there. But if you want to, you could put some flour or oil in your dish. I've just thrown it in there. And got my lid. I'm going to rest this in the fridge overnight, and then we'll come back and separate our buns for tomorrow. So I'm back with my sourdough rolls. It's the next day, and look at that. Look how bubbly and delicious that looks. So I need to weigh out my dough onto my scales. This is just how I do it, just so I have an accurate measurement. And then I need to divide it either by 8 or 9 rolls. We usually aim for around 100 grams per roll. So I'm just going to try and scoop this out and put the sticky side down on the scales. So that's 851. So I might do 8 rolls, just a little bit over, maybe around 105. Hey Siri, what's 851 divided by 8? 106.3.75. So Siri said. You can do it directly onto the scales. I'm just keeping my scales clean. So I need 106 per dough ball. It's 107, so that's pretty good. So that's my first one. And all I do is I grab the floured side and go into the sticky side and just keep stretching it until I create this tight ball. Now on my tray here, I've got some paper cases, which I'm going to place into the air fryer. So I've got my dough ball and I'm just placing the dough on that, and I can put some flour on top. I thought it might be nicer if you see my face again. So all I've done is I've covered my little dough babies with a tea towel, and we're going to wait at least an hour. I'll check them after an hour, and it usually takes about 1 to 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours if you've got a really cold kitchen. But we're going to just rest them for an hour and then we'll come back. So it's been an hour and I've checked my little rolls out and they've all spread. They haven't risen in height, but they're going to be okay. They're connected, but I can pull them apart once they're baked. So I've got my air fryer heating up. I usually just do it on the warm up mode, which is 200 degrees C for 5 minutes. I like to spray them with some water, and I'm going to do them in 2 batches because my air fryer is quite small. And I've just sprayed it with water, and I'm just slitting the top slightly. So I'm going to bake them at 180 for 12 minutes. So grab the basket out, it'll be easier. And I just lift up this paper and then I pop them in. So 180 for 12 minutes, and then I'll drop it down to 130 for an extra 5 minutes. We'll just keep those ones dry. Not dry. I'll cover them so they don't dry out. So I've just released my rolls from the air fryer, and it does look more like a pull-apart bun today because I tried to cook 4 together. Last time I think I only made 2 in the air fryer. So I'm going to let that rest in the paper before I divide it. So I think next time I probably shouldn't put 4 together. I think I'll just have to move on and do this the same way. But they're risen and really lovely, and look how fluffy they are. So let's pop this one in. So I've let my sourdough rolls cool down. So I'm just going to pull this one apart because that's what it looks like now. Oh wow, that looks great. Look at that on the inside. So look how fluffy they are. No knead, overnight, in the air fryer. My only disclaimer was they came together, but that's not a bad thing. I think that'll be fine. I just won't taste it now. I've just eaten lunch. So I'll pop some photos above so you can have a look. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see more air fryer recipes. I've been experimenting with the air fryer because here in Sweden we've had hot weather, or we did have hot weather, and it was really humid. So it was too humid inside to put the oven on. So I thought, what can I make in the air fryer? And I've been experimenting doing a few more things here at home. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to keep watching. I'll pop a few more spelt bread recipes above, and I'll see you next time. Hey Dor from Sweden. Oh, also, I apologize. My website was down for I don't know how long. There was a problem when I changed over with the website base that I was using, but my technician web guy has now fixed it. So I apologize if you've been struggling trying to find my recipes. It's now working, but if it ever happens again, let me know straight away. One of my lovely viewers let me know in an email that it wasn't working and I was able to get it fixed within the hour. Okay, thanks again. Bye.